Hi, welcome to the discussion panel on judicial deception regarding Hamilton County Superior Courts in the state of Indiana. Part 12. My name is Malika Clary-Ghosh. Thank you for tuning back in. The last time I spoke to you, I scheduled a conference with Ryan Kaufman, my ex-husband's attorney, on talking about selecting a special judge. Now, I did also file 9 judges selection panel, as you want to call it. I filed it with the trial court. 9 random judges. Well, the last time I spoke to you, I was supposed to have that conference on December 19th at 10 o'clock. Well, I did. I had a conference with Ryan, and Ryan stated to me that the previous conversation that we had on Friday, they are holding the position as to wait for the court administration to pick out a special judge. I asked Ryan, why would you say that? Why can't you just pick the judge now? I mean, I don't know none of these judges in Marion County. Well, we just rather wait for them. I'm kind of concerned with that because I don't understand why would you. But I started doing some research and the conversation went back and forth, and he didn't really want to argue or disagree about anything. He just wasn't willing to pick any judge that I had something to say about. He didn't even have his own list because he could have had his list. He didn't have no list either. I said, so basically you told me on Friday to call you on Monday at 10 o'clock. You could have said this to me, but you chose to have me call you still at 10 o'clock and come up with nothing. You do not have a schedule. You don't have any lineup about anything about judges. Uh, but you're basically telling me that you rather wait until the court administration officer the supervisor to select a special judge. This is the type of stuff that I've been going through. What they've been doing is just procrastinating, playing games. That's game playing to me. He could have told me that on Friday, but he didn't. This is what I've been going through back and forth. His attorney is just as bad as my ex-husband. They procrastinate, they play games, they drag it out, but he know what he's doing. So we left off the conversation that he said, I'm going to wait for the court administration to pick up. So I said, okay, fine. You know what? I don't agree because I don't want no judge from that Hamilton County. But of course, that's where they're comfortable at. So that's why they don't want a judge out of the county, because they're comfortable with the judges out there because they give them favor, hookup. That's all day long. You're not luring. Basically, you're not practicing law. You're actually getting hookup all day. That's what's going on. So we left off with no response. So from that point on, what I said, you know what? I'm going into the court administration office and speak to him. Well, I called a couple of times. No call back. Nothing yet. So I said, okay, fine. I went up to the court and I spoke to the office, the supervisor, and I said to him, I forget his name, but I asked him, did you get my message? And he said, yes. And I said, well, what was to do? Well, if you guys can't come up to a solution, we have to pick one. And that's according to the local rules. I said, okay, so you get to pick up which judge. I don't want a judge from here. Well, we can pick one. And if no judge wants the case, which we have 5 judges to go through because you already been through 4, then it can go to Clifton, Boone, and Tipton. He said, I don't know none of these counties. And I said, yeah. He said, so what about Marion? He said, it doesn't even go to Marion. It wouldn't go to Marion. I said, well, all these other counties that you said may be part of the judge that I'm suing. So I think I still wouldn't get any, justice here. He said, well, I can't do anything for you. I mean, this is procedure. I said, you mean to tell me you know that I've been protesting in front of this court and you really think it would be favorable to give me another judge from this county? He said, well, that's just the procedure. It's really, actually, it just looked like he didn't want to do anything about it. And I'm looking at him with distraught. And I think the last words were I said, you have the power. And I also said that this is not a white thing. This is not a black thing. This is a right thing. And I said, I'll leave you with that. Thank you. And I left. Because I'm not fighting for, a race thing. I'm fighting for equality, opportunity. What's right? Justice. Everybody who is a different culture or race needs justice, needs community, needs opportunity, needs all these things. I'm not doing anything different. So I started thinking to myself, let me go ahead and get on the computer. Let me see what my options are. Because something I didn't believe, because during that conversation with that office, with the supervisor, the court administrator, he said some wise things to me. I said, what about striking if I don't like it? Oh, you can't do that. 4 years ago, you would be able to strike a judge. Because it's a special judge, you can't do that. They ruled that out 4 years ago. And I said, are you telling me there's nothing I can do? No, basically, in the change of venue, you'll have to wait until the sitting judge. I said, okay. You know, I didn't get to this position by just listening to one solution. So I started thinking and started probing. So I went on to the rules and I got to 79H. And it also said somewhere on there, let me read this to you. It said basically, if two individuals or the two parties cannot agree, yeah, that's true, you can't agree on a special judge, then the court administration, it's either or, could appoint, or actually it said like either a judge can appoint another judge. Or, that's what it said. Or if you can't do that, you could do one thing. If it doesn't work, you can do a certification to Indian Supreme Court that the circumstance warrant appointment of special judge pursuant to trial 79H3 from Marion County. And I was like, wait a minute. So are you telling me I have or? That means that I can agree with him. If I don't, I can go to the certification of Indiana Supreme Court due to circumstances. Or I can wait to the presiding judge to pick one, which is basically the court administration. But you know what's so funny? My ex-husband's attorney didn't mention that. Of course he wouldn't. Of course he would. But the court administration didn't mention it either. Of course he wouldn't. Why is that? Why didn't he say, hey, you read the 79. If you didn't like if you don't like that I could pick one or whatever, why don't you just send a certification? I guess because he's not legal counsel. But I did say you have the power to do something. And I thought that would be a little information that you could share. And that's the power that I'm expecting. But he didn't do that. So, what I did is I wrote a motion. This one. I wrote a motion to the Supreme Court stating that, hey, the judge recused himself and we don't have a judge. Hey, I reached out to my ex-husband's attorney and he's non-responsive. So basically, we have no solution and I have to get the Supreme involved. So I went and filed a motion, filed it with the trial court, went downtown to the Supreme Court and filed it with them. And I did that December 19. Probably within the 2 hours, I did all that. Spoke to my ex-husband's attorney at 10 o'clock, then went to the court administration probably about 12 o'clock, went downtown probably around 1 or 2 o'clock, and on December 20th, where we're at today is they open a special judge case to get a special judge for Marion County. I don't know the ruling yet. They haven't ruled on it, but they open a case and right now it is left with the Supreme Court. So that's where I'm at right now. I will let you know further what happened, what's the results, what's going on. Like I said I would. Thank you. My name is Malika Clary-Ghosh. My email is potpourri55@hotmail.com. Please support. Feel free to call me, 617-388-8637. Feel free to send letters, support, share the message, view all of the segments, because this could be you too. Thank you, and have a wonderful day.